What's good, man? Welcome to the introduction of the Unlimited Reset. You know what I'm saying? I know I've been working on this and marketing this for a while now, giving sneak peeks and what have you, but now we're about to get into it. You know what I'm saying? This will be the mental fasting segment of the Unlimited Reset. Now, first, I want to tell you a little about me. I go by Packboy Dolo, which is my artist name, and I just kind of transitioned it over to podcasting because, well, I'm still an artist. I still make music, but I do my best not to have that crossover here. You know what I'm saying? And also, music is more of a creative outlet for me now. It's not something that I take entirely serious. And mental fasting is what changed me. Mental fasting played a big role in me being a little less of a music listener, especially hip hop. We'll talk more about that a little bit as we go further into the mental fasting segment of the Unlimited Reset. But mental fasting helped me become less of a listener to music. And now I just basically do it as a creative outlet. You know what I'm saying? It's something that I do to enjoy. So my name is Jamarcus Morin, originally born in Carrollton, Alabama. Moved up here to Rapid City, South Dakota, I want to say about 5 years ago. And before I moved, I had started my journey on fasting. I looked into fasting and I was like, wow, this stuff is powerful. And I had a lot of bad habits. I was addicted to pills, cigarettes, vapes, kratom, not all at once, but throughout my process, all these different addictions that I was picking up, and opioid pills to be specific. And I wanted change. And I was watching this video with this guy by the name of Wesley Virgin. And well, he mentioned this mental fasting thing. Now, we go into mental fasting, you would want to know, what is that, right? You would be curious, absolutely curious about what it is and what does it entail, okay? So we all have these rewards that we give ourselves all the time. And as we give ourselves these rewards, it spikes dopamine. And the more we reward ourselves, the more dopamine hits we get, the less impactful dopamine becomes. So basically, we're junkies in a sense to dopamine. Like you would have a thought like, yeah, I want a burger from McDonald's. Then you get there and you get the burger and you get a vanilla shake. Okay, that's a hit of dopamine. While taking unhealthy foods at the same time. See what I'm saying? If you're a smoker, okay, you want a cigarette, boom, that's a hit of dopamine. And in fact, with cigarettes and nicotine, you're chasing a dopamine hit that you will never catch again unless you quit for a while. And then that dopamine hit still won't be the one that you're unconsciously chasing. So you're basically just remaining functional while smoking. That's all it does. It helps you continue to function. And me personally, I got tired of that loop, man. I got tired of the process of going through that over and over again. You know what I'm saying? So I needed a solution, and I found a solution. So let's get into it right here. What is mental fasting? Mental fasting is withdrawing all the things that you enjoy mentally from your life, from you, for a specific period of time. And some people, they do 30-day fast, they do 7-day fast, they do 21-day fast, they do 60-day fast, they do 90-day fast. I've done the 60-day mental fast. That's my favorite one. Within those 60 days, you may ask me, yo, what do I have to do? What am I dealing with? Well, it's no music, zero music, no social media, right? No TV or movies. You cut out all the things that you enjoy mentally. Now, I'm not talking about food right now, but funny enough, when you start mental fasting, you start wanting to eat different because you're changing patterns, right? So I'm not telling you not to go get your McDonald's or your Taco Bell during this process. Eventually, as we roll through these unlimited reset segments, you will get to the points where you're not going to want that stuff anymore, right? It's not going to be desirable to you anymore. You see what I'm saying? So you cut out all the dopamine hits mentally, social media, TV, music, mentally. And you may say, damn, Pac Boy, what do I listen to? Well, you want to listen to frequencies? You can listen to something like this while you're reading. You want to listen to audiobooks. That's the main thing. As far as music, you could just listen to something like this. Low in the background. You can listen to 20 hertz frequencies. Something like this. And this is to you. See, I enjoy this stuff now. To you, this is gonna be boring stuff, man. Listen. Look, this is something you can go to sleep to right here, or you could just play in the background. Right? And you can find it on YouTube. You can find all kind of stuff on YouTube. Type in 432 hertz. Know what I'm saying? Healing music. You hear that? Very soothing, very calm. Not like boom, 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 boom. Bitch, whole shit, slut, fuck. Shoot him in his head, what the fuck, right? None of that. Cause that's operating at a chaotic vibration. A chaotic vibration. You want to stay away from chaotic vibrations. And you want to listen to something like this. Listen. When you listen to something like that, just keep focusing on what you're doing. If you're driving to work, drive to work listening to this. Don't listen to the radio. Don't listen to hip hop music and all this rock music. You don't want to listen to any music, right? And for my Christians, if you want to listen to Christian music, you can. But once again, you're dealing with the brain and receptors that are connected. And you want to have everything totally different. Everything needs to be obsolete. It needs to be totally different because you're creating a new program. You're installing a new program. You see what I'm saying? So let's go even deeper, right? Why does this work? Why? Let's stay on music, for example, right now. Because music, social media, all this stuff ties in, but we're going to focus on music right now, right? So why is it that music is so powerful? Now, to break this example down, I'm going to use the Bob Proctor example that he got from a guy when this guy drew the mind. He drew the mind and how the mind connects and then operates throughout the body, right? So first, right? Swap that up right quick. Alright, hopefully you can see that. I'm gonna bring it closer. We'll be on a bigger board on others, later in the segments. Right? So we have the C, which represents the conscious mind. You listening to it, vibing to it, bopping, writing, learning the lyrics, singing them back, right? Conscious. Bumping it, riding, you know what I'm saying? Talking to your homie, man, you heard what that nigga said and that shit? Man, that nigga said woo, 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 that shit was gold. Right? Just you operating consciously. Okay? We got the S right there. That represents the subconscious mind. You don't control the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind controls you. You just control the conscious mind. The subconscious mind controls you. In fact, the subconscious mind, that's where it's all at. Let me add this in there. There may be a little bit more. The subconscious mind runs 90% of your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors without you even having to think about it. I think it's like 95%, probably. You're only in control of 5 to 10% of your life. 5 to 10%. Why is that? Here's why. Am I green it? Okay. Here's why. Consciously, you're taking in his music. That's what the blue arrow represent. Consciously, you're taking in the music. You're bopping, you're riding, you're vibing, whatever the lyrics are saying. When You listen to this stuff over and over and over and over and over and over, it seeps into your subconscious. It seeps into your subconscious mind, and then all of a sudden, right? All of a sudden, you hear the lyrics come back up, and you want to go play the song again. You want to go play the song again. And then when you go play the song again, you're just rewiring the same program of this hip hop bop type music, right? With these very negative lyrics. Very negative lyrics. Words are a motherfucker, man. Words and 808s. Words, negative words along with these 808s that be in this rap music sends off super negative frequencies. That's why you walk around comparing yourself. That's why all of a sudden some random shit attracted you and you like, how did that even happen? It's because of the music you're listening to. You can't be mentally at peace. You can't find silence in your mind when you're always listening to that shit, man. So remember, it seeps into your subconscious. That's 90%. 90 to 95% of your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors that goes on autopilot. So if I'm listening to something very negative, what is that going to do to my thoughts, feelings, and behaviors? Come on now. So it starts right here. It starts with the music. It starts with the music. What are you choosing to listen to? It starts with the sound that you're allowing to go in there. That's where it all starts. And this stuff just trickles down, man. It trickles down to your subconscious, and then you start operating with specific negative thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. I'm telling you, man. Don't tell me I'm bullshitting. I'm telling you. And that's why most of the music you listen to, it talks about drugs. Because you need to have a habit to listen to this shit. And when you listen to it, it reinforces the habit, man. I remember saying Future in an interview saying, man, listen. Future said, man, they pay us to talk about that shit, man. We get paid more when we talk about drugs and alcohol and bitches and all these negative concepts. Right? I ain't saying nothing wrong with bitches, hey. But what I'm saying is, it all ties in, because if I'm talking about drugs and bitches, that means that if I like bitches, then probably I need to do drugs to get bitches. It all ties in, right? So let's go into the social media aspect of it. We just gonna write SM for social media. And then we're going to draw the mind again. Got the conscious, then the subconscious, then the body. Okay? Now, what is it about social media that causes havoc? Comparison. You comparing yourself to ghosts. All this shit that you see on the internet 9 times out of 10 is fake. It's somebody who's set it up that way so that they can have a big following. And if you was to go into these people's personal life, you would be like, what the fuck? You would be like, wait, it's no way that this is the same person that posts this type of content, but it's true. So what I'm saying is this: with everything, you have a positive and you have a negative. With everything, even social media, you have positive content and negative content. Right? Now, damn, Dolo, why do we need to cut out all social media though? Because you run the chance of running into something negative, seeing something negative. And once you see something negative, once again, it's gonna send that, it's gonna fire that same connection that you've been firing, that you're trying to disconnect. It's a negative connection. You don't want to leave what is supposed to go into your mind up to scrolling, to random mindlessly scrolling. You don't want to leave it up to that. You want to be in full control of that. How do you do that, Dolo? You completely delete social media for 60 days. However long you want to do it. 21, 30, 60. I recommend 60. At least 30. But you want to completely delete these apps. You want to completely delete these apps. Get them off of your phone, man. Get them off your phone. No music, just shit like this. Right? And we'll get into daily habits later on, but right now I'm just giving you the basics of the whys. Because this is important shit, man. Right? You delete the apps. Get them off your phone. Disconnect, yo. Focus on you. Turn inside. Stop using that phone and, outside stimulations, movies, social media, friends even. You know what I'm saying? Friends and family. Like, it's certain people that's in your life, really, you don't really need in your life. You don't need them in your life. You just have them there because you're scared of being lonely. And that comes from all these connections, right? That's another form of dopamine. You feel bored, you pick up the phone and call a friend and gossip. That's negative. It's putting that same program back in again and again and again. You're never going to get different results. You're never going to feel different. You're never going to be more present if you keep doing the same shit. So you have to cut all this out. Cut out the social media. Delete them. Right? And then the same thing with TV. Same thing with TV. All right. Television program. In my opinion, it's less positive shit on TV than it is on social media. Because they hit you with these ads over and over again, or the news over and over again. You know what? I take that back. They're damn near the same. Shit, social media may be worse. I don't know. You see what I'm saying? TV, same thing, negative. Go straight through your conscience. You watch it. Watch all these motherfucking love and hip hop and these soap operas, and you're stimulating yourself from other people's made up drama, who's making M's, got a nice ass crib, but they're on TV acting like they're into it. And then you go and you talk about it to somebody, and then that's what your life consists of. When you can cut all this shit out, and you got the power to do it. Cut all that shit out. Cut the TV off. Unplug it. Wrap the cord around that motherfucker and stick it in the closet. Unplug it. Slide it down away from the spot that it's at. Put you a yoga mat on the floor. Right? Same thing with TV. These movies. You see more unaliving on television programs and social media than you could possibly see ever in real life. So basically you're witnessing it in real life, because guess where it goes? To your subconscious mind, which has the connection to superconscious, which has the power to attract certain stuff to you. So you have to be diligent and mindful of what you're putting in your mind. What you're putting in your mind. You have to be mindful. Delete this stuff. Get it out your life. It's only for 60 days. Thank me later. Thank me later. But if you really want to change, even if you want to break a habit, you have to do this first. This will play a role in breaking a habit, but you got to start breaking the top floors down first before you get to the actual problem. And this stuff is also helping you in ways that you can't even imagine, because you'll be so much more peaceful, man. So much more peaceful when you cut all this hip hop shit out, Megan Thee Stallion, and you know what I'm saying? What they're talking about has no substance. I'm against that shit, man. And hey, let them do them. I hope they get paid healthily. I hope they get paid very, very well for what they do and enjoy it. But that don't mean that I'm gonna be sticking that shit in my mind and allowing it to seep down into my subconscious and create my thought patterns and actions and behaviors. Fuck that. I'm gonna block it out. I'm gonna create a peaceful force field around what I allow to go into my mind. Seriously. So let's do one more piece to this. We just talked about it. Okay. People. All people. I don't give a damn who it is. If it's your parents, let them know. If sister, somebody you see a lot, let them know. Hey, look, I'm about to do this little process, man, that I saw this dude. I saw this big head ass motherfucker on YouTube talking about, you know what I'm saying? I'm about to do this process for 60 days. So if I don't pick up, that's why. I'm disconnected, man. I really want to, better my life, man. Get rid of these habits, and I got to go through these stages, these processes that this big head ass motherfucker Packboy Dolo talking about on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? People. Same concept. They come at you with negative concepts. You've been doing good. You've been listening to stuff like this. Right? You at peace. You peaceful as a motherfucker. Here they come, calling you, texting you with some gossip. Did you hear about this? What's that gonna do, Dolo? It's gonna fire the same connections that's been running the same program. And it'll tempt you to indulge in the conversation. Once you indulge in the conversation, everything that you did thus far is totally wiped out. Is obsolete. You got to start all over again. So I recommend D&D and looking into the settings on D&D on how it'll block out calls. You know what I'm saying? So you can really block out that shit, man. You really don't need to have negative people like that in your life, but it's your life. I'm not trying to tell you what to do and who to hang out with. What I'm saying is, while you doing this here fast, you need to cut people back. You need to push them back, put space in the gap so you can focus on yourself. You know what I'm saying? You'll be having a good peaceful day. Just got done meditating. You feeling good, drinking you a nice cold water. Next thing you know, hear somebody come with some negative shit. And the more you do this, the more you like, man, you get away from negative shit. You like, listen, I don't want to hear that. I don't give a fuck about what Brad and Tammy going through. I don't give a damn. I'm so focused on me right now that I don't care. Cause that has nothing to do with me. That's none of my business. I'm focused on my business. And then some of y'all, you got a job and you have to go to work. Well, when you go to work, focus on your job. Focus on what you need to do. Hey, what do you need from me? And get away from them. Hey, yo, what's up with you? You been acting different lately. Yeah, I'm going through this process, really working on something with myself, man. I can't really talk about it, but just excuse my space and just respect it and allow me to just do this. Just excuse me for being kind of spaced out lately, but I'm going through this. That's all you gotta say. In reality, you ain't gotta tell them shit. You see what I'm saying? You could laugh it off and keep it pushing if you got a job and you got people that you gotta communicate with. You're there to communicate about work, not about other shit. See what I'm saying? So with people, I don't care who it is, your family, your friends, your coworkers, you gotta cut down the communication. You have to cut it down so that you can be fully focused on you and what you're doing, what you're thinking, how you're moving. You be in tune with yourself. To be fully in tune with yourself, you had to turn up other people's voices down so you can hear you. You need to hear you, man. You know what I'm saying? So this is the introduction of the Unlimited Reset mental fasting segment. And I'm gonna have a lot of fun dropping this program up to y'all, man, because this is important stuff. And the more important something is, the more serious you need to take it. You don't need to bullshit around. See what I'm saying? You don't need to bullshit around. You need to take it seriously. And apply it. Soak this up and apply it because it's very important. Very, very important. You're looking at somebody who do it a lot. I've been doing it for like 5 years and getting better and better at it. Studying it. Everything that's on that board back there, I've done. Water fasting, people fasting, environment fasting, I've done. Learning about sleep, the advantage of it when it comes to breaking addictions. Programming. You know, you'll hear me use that word a lot. Programming. How it works. All this stuff I've done and experimented with. You're not listening to somebody who doesn't know what they're talking about. I specialize in this shit. I specialize in fasting. Ask anybody who knows me. I'm always fasting, always for the most part about to be disconnected or just coming from being disconnected. I'm always fasting. So I know what I'm talking about. Feel me? Man, it's your round Packboy Dolo checking out. Make sure you check out the YouTube channel, Round the Clock Thinkers. We're also on Instagram at Round the Clock Thinkers. And this full program, this segment will be on the PayHip site. So, yeah, make sure you go get that, man. Go get that. Listen, people need this shit. You need this. Go get that. It's your round, Packboy Dolo, and I'm checking out. Peace.